Hi everyone, my name is Linda and I'm the resident foodie fashionista of Seattle. Consequently, I'm always on the lookout for fashionable food. Nothing fits the bill like this Philly tuna on crispy rice. Hang out for a little bit, you'll see what I mean. The ingredient list is pretty short and simple for this. Two components compose the dish, and basically you've got your tuna and your sushi rice. Tuna gets paired with a variety of different sundry little sauces that make it delicious, and the sushi rice gets fried and acts as a base to hold the tuna. I'm going to start by dicing up this Walla Walla sweet onion. You can use a scallion, a ramp, green garlic, whatever, just add a little kick to it. And once your onion is nice chopped and good and fine, you can bring it together and add it to the bowl. Next up, we're going to add sashimi-grade ahi tuna. It's very important that it is sashimi-grade because it does go in raw. So I'm going to chop very finely about a pound of the sashimi-grade ahi tuna and lay that on my cutting board there. So chopping technique actually that's coming up is quite interesting. It's something that I learned while I was ninja training. Just watch, you'll see. So you want to make sure that you chop your tuna up nice and fine because you're almost looking in the end here for a creamy consistency with the tuna layer of the Philly tuna and crispy rice. This is a little tip for the ladies. Now, the fact that the ahi tuna matches my dress is not a coincidence. It's by design. While I am happily married, it's actually the case that this color, this nice sort of salmony, great, fuchsia, beautiful, vibrant color, is actually proven psychologically to be a man getting color. So ladies, put it on, cook it up, and you're good to go. Alright, so we're finished with chopping the tuna, and we are going to put it in our bowl, clean the cutting board, and add the rest of the ingredients for the Philly tuna. Alright, now on to the special sauce. Alright, in goes a couple ounces of Philadelphia cream cheese. Voila. And here we go, adding a little bit of sesame oil, and I just do it to taste, and I start with a few drops, and as I mix it all together I decide whether or not I've added enough. And then the same thing goes for the sriracha, which is sort of the spicy rooster sauce. You don't want to add too much because a little bit goes a long way and really packs a punch. So before I add the final ingredient, which is the tobiko, I'm going to mix it a little bit to make sure that it's nice and blended. I've been mixing the cream cheese in for about a minute now, and I think I'm about 3/4 of the way done to total uniformity. So at this point I'm going to add the tobiko so that we can be sure that that gets mixed in also. Alright, here we go. We're adding 3 tablespoons of tobiko, and tobiko are just basically little fishy fish eggs. Beautiful, glowing, almost, I don't know how you describe this fantastic color that they have. I do know how they taste, and there's one word for it: delicious. Alright, so we put the tuna in the refrigerator, and that is holding marinating flavors while we start the rice. And this is sushi rice. It's been cooked. You can actually get it at the grocery store in most major cities. And I use this little form so that I can get uniform rectangles. But you could just about do this with anything. I mean, you can do this with a couple pieces of saran wrap and put your sushi rice into the saran wrap and you know, squeeze it together, pack it real tightly. The objective here though is just to get a nice uniform little square or rectangle with which you then put into the frying pan, fry it up, and set your sushi, your tuna, on top of. Alright, we're packing our rice down into the form here, and if you're using the saran wrap, just Again, pack it down nice and tight. And sushi rice is very, very sticky stuff. So if you are using it, you want to be sure not to touch it with your fingers, because if you do, you're definitely going to end up with more of it on your hands than you will in the actual final cube. So now I'm just packing it down, and if you have a form, and this is actually one of those spam forms, shockingly enough, but if you have a form, you know, just keep everything held really together, pack it nice and tight, and then I can just push it straight on through, just like that. All right, we got that, managed to pack it nice and tight and got most of the air out, and the air is what will cause it to separate when you're frying it up. So now I am just going to cut it up into perfect little rectangles, and we'll be good to go to head into the frying pan. All right, to fry these crispy rices up, we're gonna need a couple of little pitter pats of butter. Straight in there, butter makes everything better, as you know. And then I add a little bit of tamari just to add some color and crispness to the rice. You can use soy sauce, tamari, anything in that family. Turn it on, wait for it to get nice and hot. All right, so when your frying pan, your skillet is nice and hot, add a couple of pieces of crispy rice and keep going and see what happens. All right, after about 60 seconds on each side in a covered frying pan, your crispy rice should be nice and golden brown, so you can pull it out and plate it up. All right, so when you have your crispy rice all plated, you want to work quickly at this point because it's really nice to have the cold texture against the hot rice. So I've put my tuna in a Ziploc bag, real easy. We're gonna make a piping bag out of it. The way to do that is take your scissors, cut off your tip there, and voila. So then you, for every rice, just take a little bit of tuna, pipe it on, and move on to the next one, and pipe out your beautiful appetizer plates. Okay, so once you've piped your tuna out onto your crispy rice, I like to garnish with a little bit of tobiko, a little bit of the eggs, because I think it adds a nice contrast and vibrant color. You can, if you like things spicy, maybe garnish with a little hot pepper, or possibly even a little bit more sriracha, but I think that the tobiko just gives it a nice, beautiful, finished look. Thank you for joining me in making the Philly tuna and crispy rice. I'm gonna go serve this to the guests. I think that platter looks gorgeous, stunning, delightful, and super true foodie fashionista, don't you? Before I take it out there, I have to just sample one. Sonia, no one else is allowed to be in the video. Now we're going to add our sashimi-grade ahi tuna. It's important that it is sashimi. Rice packing time today.
Say fudge packing time?
I said rice packing time.
All right, Wiggles.
If I was the Wiggles. All right, thank you for joining me, making me, go, Ken, go, stop.
The video?
Stop the video.